Imagine, there were no modern hospitals, no doctors, no medicine. Yet, a child would be born. But imagine what would have happened to a woman at that moment, and how many terrible risks would have been hidden. In primitive times, childbirth was one of the most dangerous experiences in life. There were no hospitals, trained doctors, or modern equipment. Yet humanity survived in that harsh reality. Pregnant women usually received help from experienced women of their own tribe. They learned from their previous childbirth experiences and encouraged new mothers and stayed by their side. During childbirth, women would often give birth sitting, kneeling, or holding onto tree branches. These positions were considered more natural than lying down. Without painkillers like today, the pain of childbirth had to be endured completely. Women would keep their courage up by deep breathing, screaming, or singing tribal songs. Cold caves, forest shelters, or mud huts were the places where many births took place. The environment was unsafe, but they considered those places to be safe havens. When labor began, tribal women would light fires to keep themselves warm. Keeping the mother and newborn alive in the cold weather was a big challenge at that time. Sharp stones, bones, or fire-burning instruments were used to cut the umbilical cord. The risk of infection was high, but there was no safe alternative. Excessive bleeding from the mother was one of the most dangerous dangers. Even minor complications could often turn fatal because there was no access to emergency medical care. Many newborns did not survive immediately after birth. Harsh weather, malnutrition, and infections made infant mortality rates very high in that era. Still, the birth of a child was a joyous occasion for the tribe. The belief that a new child meant a future hunter, gatherer, or member of the tribe gave everyone hope. If labor lasted a long time, women would take turns holding the mother. Giving birth alone was rare, as physical and emotional support was considered very important. Some tribes performed special rituals before childbirth. They believed that the blessings of their ancestors would protect the mother and child from danger during that difficult time. Many women would faint from the intensity of the pain. Then others would bring water to wet the face and try to encourage the baby to stay awake by speaking softly. If the baby was upside down, the danger would increase manifold. Experienced women would try to understand the baby's position with their hands, but this was not always successful. Many mothers would rest for a few days after giving birth. Other members of the tribe would gather food and bring it to the mother to give her a chance to recover. After birth, the newborn was wrapped in animal skins or warm clothes. Retaining body heat was very important for the baby's survival. Many tribes considered the mother's first milk to be a source of special strength. They tried to breastfeed the newborn quickly, although they did not know the reason. Sometimes men were kept away during childbirth. This was a women's domain, where experienced women played the main role in decision-making. Hearing a baby cry after a long labor was the most comforting moment. That sound told the tribe that both mother and child were alive. However, not all stories were happy. Countless women and children died from complications related to childbirth, whose memories are rarely recorded in history. Although primitive people had limited knowledge of the body, they learned a lot from experience. They observed which positions relieved pressure, or which foods gave strength. Some herbs were used during pregnancy. Although they were believed to reduce pain or increase strength, their actual effectiveness was not always certain. A woman's courage during childbirth was a matter of special respect in the tribe. A woman who successfully gave birth was seen as a strong and experienced member. In some regions, newborns were named a few days later because everyone waited quietly for the first few days until the baby's survival was certain. Mothers were forced to return to normal work quickly after giving birth. The struggle to gather food and survive greatly limited the opportunity for rest. In primitive society, family and clan were the main security system. A mother's birth became a matter of responsibility and concern for the entire community. Scientists believe that childbirth has always been relatively difficult due to the human pelvis and large brain. This is why human babies are so helpless during childbirth. During childbirth, the light of the fire, smoke, and human voices created a strange atmosphere. In that atmosphere, feelings of fear and hope were present together. Many tribes believed that newborns brought blessings from the spirits of their ancestors. Therefore, the moment of birth was considered not only a physical event, but also a spiritual one. When the mother became weak, other women would temporarily hold the baby. In many cases, it was almost impossible to survive in that difficult environment without support. Today's medical science has made childbirth much safer, but behind that safety lies thousands of years of experience, failures, and the sacrifices of countless unknown people. Even without modern opportunities, primitive mothers demonstrated extraordinary mental strength. Without their courage, the continuation of humanity might not have reached today's world.
Imagine, surrounded only by forest, firelight, and a few supportive women. In that environment, a mother would cross the border of life and death and bring a new life into the world.
When we think of safe childbirth in modern hospitals, the struggle of primitive women seems even more amazing. They gave birth to children even in almost impossible circumstances.
This story reminds us that behind every generation of human civilization, there was a brave mother. Their silent struggle made the world we live in today possible.